Hi guys, welcome back to Sweet Talks. I'm Tess, your host. Today I have Chrxstopher with me. You may know him from his twerking videos on TikTok or his recreation of Disney movies. Today we're going to make monkey bread and talk a little bit about his LGBTQ journey. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get going.
Hello!
Hi!
How's it going?
I'm so excited you're here.
I'm so excited to be here.
We're making monkey bread.
We are.
I just have to
Thank
say... Thank God.
Thank God.
I just have to say, when you were like, I don't like cake, I was like, can we be friends?
Listen, you know when you're at like birthday parties as a kid and it's just like you can't control the cake?
Yeah.
I feel like I've just had so much bad cake in my life.
Any grocery store birthday cake is just not the move. So I get it.
So,
and anyway,
yeah.
monkey bread is the best. So I'm really excited.
And it's shaped like a cake, so why not?
Exactly. All right, are you ready to make it?
I'm ready.
Okay, so
Throw
here...
me in.
Let's go, coach!
Throw me in to the cinnamon sugar. Cover me in it.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so we have cinnamon sugar, and we are going to put it in this bag, because we're going to shake our biscuits in here.
I love to shake a biscuit.
Okay, so I'm going to hold it open, and why don't you just pour in the mixture?
Oh my god. Wow.
Amazing.
Ugh, when you're a chef.
We got the biscuits. We're going to cut them into fours,
Okay.
and then we're going to put it in the bag. Safety first. Here you go.
Oh, safety first. Here you go. Safety first. Here's a butcher knife. Okay.
So just, start cutting them into quarters.
Oh, I have
And then...
Okay.
You're doing great. Perfect.
Okay.
You can oh my god, look, you're so meticulous about it.
I know, but that's the thing is like I feel like if I don't, it's not gonna go well. If I start pulling a.
I'll just take them as you do.
That sounds good.
I'll take them.
I'm starting to like feel the flow.
Yeah.
This is so random, but I have this like. So I don't even know why I'm telling this, but I have me doing my makeup all the time has caused me to get a permanent like lash glue spot in my contacts that I'm wearing right now. And I have monthly contacts, so they're not daily. So literally there's been an eyelash glue like dot in my eye for the past like 2 weeks. And so looking down, I'm like, it's a little blurry, which is why I was going slow at first. Because I was like, let me not chop my hand off.
Yeah.
But I'm like at an angle to where it disappeared.
Oh
so that's why we're
when
moving
it first
a little
happened,
faster.
were you like, I'm going blind?
No, because I was putting on fake lashes.
So you knew, like immediately when it happened, you're like, shit.
Yeah, I got lash glue in my eye, and then it just never went away.
Oh my god.
And so, but these are like monthly contacts are expensive.
Yeah.
So if you like, do you wear contacts? Do you have
No.
glasses? Okay. So for those of you out there that do wear contacts and glasses, you know how expensive it is to see.
That is true. That is true.
And so I was like, I need to make these last.
Right.
And so now there's just a dot in my, which is why I was going slow at first. To bring that around full circle.
What I will tell you though is I did have an eye problem. I'm just like, I don't know what happened, but my eye, you know what? It's not even worth it telling you the story.
No, I want to know. I really do want to know what happened.
I don't know, it just like swelled randomly and I went to the eye doctor.
Your actual eye?
No, like my eyelid.
Oh.
It swelled and I was like, what
just
the
one?
fuck? Yeah, just this one. And I was like, this is weird. So I went back multiple times to the doctor and I was like, what is happening? So he like told me like hot compress, whatever, like figured it out. And then it like it swelled again. So then I had to go actually this week.
You're like
and
allergic to something?
No.
It just is doing
It just happened. And he was like,
so weird.
He like was playing with it and he was like, this is odd. I was like,
don't you love that when a doctor's like, this is weird?
yeah,
You're like,
I've never seen this before. And I was like, that doesn't give me hope at all.
at all.
And they're like, we can't do anything for you. And I was like,
okay.
Okay.
Like, all right, time to go.
I hate it here.
I hate it here.
Okay.
Oh, God.
This is made for you. Okay?
This is made for
This
me
moment
to shake
yeah.
my whole...
This is cinnamon sugar. We gotta get it on every biscuit. That means you gotta shake it. Shake what your mama gave you.
Do we have, like, music or something?
I'll put music behind you
Great.
right now.
Oh, no, I guess I get copyright. I'm afraid that I'm going to burst the bag.
You're not going to. Don't worry.
Okay, I actually want to do it correctly.
That's perfect. Wow, you're a baker. Like,
Am I?
yeah. Okay. we have our greased pan. And now, if you just want to evenly put them around.
Yeah.
And you can, so if you don't want to get your hands dirty, you can just like pour it in, or you can put your hands in, whatever you want to do.
I'll pour it in first and then we'll move them around.
Amazing. It smells so good.
I really can't get over it.
Yes.
Oh, that was a big little chunk.
Yeah, and then you want all of that.
Yeah.
We don't leave any cinnamon sugar behind.
No, we don't.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Put them how you want them.
Spread them around a little. Share the love.
We have melted butter, and we have brown sugar.
Work.
Now, put this in here,
okay.
And we're going to give it a little mixy mix.
Okay. Oh god, I'm scared. Oh my god. That just freaking just like leapt out of the thing.
So
okay.
Mix it all together till it's like, you know, good and done.
Good and done.
Yeah, and then we're going to
pour it's all good and done. Test.
Copyright.
Okay, work.
Yeah.
Period.
Just pour it over. You can pour it around. You can do what you want.
Do
with
some
it.
choreo. Ooh.
Oh, this is good.
Oh,
this is good.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
This is like.
Hell yeah.
This is almost like sensual. How delicious this looks right now.
That looks so good.
Wow, I can't get over that. Are y'all seeing this right now? Look at this. I can't.
I'm so excited.
I'm like, I could eat that right now.
Yeah.
It's disgusting, but I'd do it. I really would.
Well, okay, so do you see how easy that was?
Yeah.
This is all the prep that's needed, and now we bake it. Alright, so we baked it, we let it rest for just 5 minutes, flipped it over, and look at this masterpiece.
This is like holy. Like this is like sacred.
Yes!
Right here, what's going on here?
I'm ready to eat it, are you?
Whew, I could not be more ready.
Let's go.
Okay, great.
Cheers!
Cheers, queen!
We need to eat this now.
I have been staring at it. Okay, great.
Mine.
I'm like, I can't, I don't know how much longer I can stare at it. Wait. Hold on. Oh my god! Hold on. Oh no. Can't do it. I got it.
It's the baby fork.
Yeah, it's the tiny, tiny, tiny fork.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Flips table.
My
Game
God.
over.
Oh my god.
I first have to tell you, I love your videos. Love, love, love. I found you in the pandemic. So
That's so crazy.
We all downloaded TikTok, right? I was like, what are we doing with our time? Mm-hmm. And it just came across my For You page, and you were twerking to a Disney Channel song. And I was like...
Do you remember which one?
Oh my god. I don't even remember what the first one was, because then I saw all of your videos where it was like, those challenges that were, do you know all the 2007 songs? And then you would just like, it was just you and you're listening, and then you're like, and it was like immediate, and then you started dancing, and I was like, this is so relatable. This is the funniest thing I've seen. I sent it to everyone.
Thank you. Engagement.
I single-handedly.
You single-handedly boosted my entire platform. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
So I need to know everything about you.
What do you want to know? What do you want to know, girl?
All right, like let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
Where did you grow up? How did you grow up? You know, give me the whole zigzaggy way into how you got to where you are.
Okay, whoa. Okay. Well, I was born here. I was born in California. I was born in La Jolla, down in San Diego.
Fancy. Love that place, actually.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And then moved from there when I was very young to Colorado Springs. So definitely a jump in culture. Mm-hmm. But I don't really remember living here. My parents have like a lot of connections back here, so obviously the people we're still close with. So I do like, it does feel like home. Yeah. When I go down there to San Diego, but Colorado Springs, I would say, is where I was like raised. You know, it's where I grew up. And I was raised very Christian. My parents were both Nazarene. I don't know if you know, what that is. It's just a very, very like, I would say it's probably one of the strictest denominations of like Christianity that exists. It's just very like, there are rules, and it's very Southern and like, you know. Right. And very evangelical. However you want to put it, I'm getting my point across. So that's how they were raised. I was not raised Nazarene, but they were raised Nazarene, and so just my upbringing was influenced because of my family and because how they were raised. It was just influenced very heavily by the Bible and by church and, you know.
Did you go to church with them every week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. My dad was a pastor for 25 years. Okay. My mom, up until, like, I graduated high school, was, like, doing administrative work in a church. Like, it just, like, my life was church. And up until, like, I want to say high school, I just kind of, like, went with the flow. Yeah. And didn't really question anything and just kind of, like, lived my life through the church and didn't really think anything of it. My school was very influenced by the church because it's a small school in the middle of Colorado Springs. And so it just is, you know, that just, they claimed to not be Christian, but they were very heavily influenced because most of the kids that went to the school and the parents of the kids were Christian. So that's just kind of the way it was.
What was the moment that you started questioning, you know, the church or your beliefs in it?
I think the moment I started questioning the church was when I started expressing myself more and started to realize that there were people that were throwing the Bible and church in my face as a means to not do that.
So explain, like, what were you doing to express yourself?
I was, like, dyeing my hair and I was, like, dancing a lot more, so I was doing a lot more theater. And I, you know, growing up, like, in elementary school and middle school, I was, like, bullied for being gay. Which, you know, it didn't have much of an effect on me because I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, this is just because I'm a dancer and this is just because I'm, like, doing theater and performing, but it never really occurred to me that it wasn't because of that, it was just because of who I was, and so they just assumed that I was gay.
When did you know that you were?
When I was 17. It took a long time for me to get there. It was my junior year of high school, and there was just a moment where I just was like, okay. Because I had dated girls, I had, like, you know, I had done the whole thing. I honestly, like, just from the environments that I had been surrounded in, thought that it was something I was going to grow out of, truly.
I mean, that's fair. Well, that's what kind of the religious aspect does, right?
And that's what I was being told. That's what was being fed to me. And so I just was like, I'm going to, like, it's going to be fine. I'm like, let me live my life as normal. Let me date women. Let me do whatever. And it's just going to go away. And then it, like, very much so, like, hit me one day. And I was like, okay, this is not going away. And it hasn't gone away. Like, it's actually gotten stronger. So
well, good, because you're being yourself.
Wait,
okay, so you knew at 17.
When I was, like, 17,
But it seems like beforehand there were certainly things that you were feeling that weren't, you know, that were going towards being gay. You were like, I mean,
I was always, like, attracted to men.
Okay.
And I always thought that it was just, like, me thinking they were attractive. You know,
sure, we all think, you're right.
Yeah, I didn't really, like, there was never, like, I have feelings, you know? Because I also wasn't around any gay boys growing up. Like, it was, by the time I graduated high school, it was me and one other person, like, in our entire high school. That's
pretty crazy.
That had, like, come out. And so, I just was never around it. Like, I was around so many straight people, you know? And even in the church, like, nobody's gay, you know? So it was just, like, I had never really experienced, like, the connection of that until I was, like, a junior or senior in high school, and I started, like, meeting. I was, like, because I was dancing more, and I was, like, doing more things, like, throughout the city, and so I was meeting, like, guys, and I was like, oh, I kind of think I might have a crush on you. And so that was kind of when things started to click, is when I, like, actually started to experience it in real time and not just, like, see it on TV or, like, hear about it. So then once that clicked in my brain, like, everything became very, like, you know, when you, like, something clicks in your brain and all of a sudden you're just, like, super aware of everything. I became so aware of how prejudiced everything was.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was, like, It was almost like you know, like in the movies where like color washes over the screen. It literally was like that. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I was like, people are mean and angry about this, about something that like doesn't have anything to do with anyone but that other person.
Yeah.
And like, why are you so mad about that?
Right.
It literally has nothing to do with you.
Nothing.
And so I think once I realized that is when I started to kind of feel it a lot heavier, and I started to really challenge like the church and like conservative ideology and like the Republican Party and like that sort of thing. Not to make this political, but I really did, like, that was just kind of what I was doing. Is I was really, that was because the school that I went to was very like self-advocating, challenge things, question things,
but not the church,
but not the things that we are teaching you.
Right.
Question everything else.
Yeah. Did you come out to your parents? What was that like? What was that story?
I'm trying to think of the order of people. It was like my best friend first, because it was like that panic text of like, hi, I'm going through something crazy and I need your help. Yeah. And she's still my best friend to this day. So like we went through some crazy shit together, like when we were kids. I mean, we were kids. Like I was like 16, 17, dealing with like very adult things. And so we like bonded heavily like that year, because she was also dealing with some really intense family things. And so it was like, we were just always there. And so she was obviously the first person that I told and came out to. And then I want to say it was like a handful of people that I told after that. And then like pretty shortly thereafter was my parents. So if you're watching, I love you. They have grown so much in the last 7 years. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I always say that to people, that when I tell this story, I always preface it with the fact that like they like come to Pride with me, and we're like Pride Pit, like they're in it now.
Yes.
But they weren't always, and they'll admit that. They were very, I don't even know that like jaded is the right word. It just is like there was no like other experience to draw on. Yeah,
they didn't know what to do because they'd never heard it being brought up in that type of
in their life
world. Yeah,
literally in their life.
Right.
This is the crazy part, and this is what like this is what always floors people, is that it took the entire year for me to like come out to everybody, because I had to like prepare people for it.
Why
in Colorado Springs?
Is it because of where you grew up?
Mm-hmm.
And like
my family, my extended family, like I literally had to like have planned conversations with people. Like I couldn't just text people and be like, hey, I'm out, you know, like it was like it took the full time of like sitting down with my family and sitting down with my like God family and sitting down with my like friends, and like it just took literally that whole time. So the entire year, like I didn't date, I didn't do anything, because I was just like in the process of like still coming out for that full year. I didn't even go on a date with a guy until a year after I had come out. So my parents were the people that ended up helping me come out to like everyone else. And so
and how was that experience? Was it the same? Did you kind of have that same process with everyone else not understanding, but
you know what's crazy is that they like there is still some like repercussions of that like to this day. Yeah. Just from
like what?
Like people not speaking the same way to my parents or me, people like not talking about it. Yeah. It's just like it's like I don't know what else to tell you. Yeah. You know, it's one of those things where it's like I this is what it is.
Right. Like this is who I am, and if you don't like maybe at this point it's like
and if you're not there now, like if you haven't made it there, especially with like what's going on in my life and like what I'm doing, it's like if you're not aware and you're not like fully like on board with that, then like you're not gonna be.
Right. 100%. My question though, and this is something I'm always intrigued and interested to know about. So, you know, put yourself back at 17. Only for a moment, because we don't want to bring that trauma back.
Like, woo! Somebody have like a cold compress? I like need to.
But bring yourself back to 17. What would have been helpful? Like, as someone who's coming out, like, what is a good ally? As a friend, what can we do better?
I think the obviously the empathy part is like the obvious answer, you know, me sitting here being like, just be there for them.
Right.
But I think the like true deep answer in order to achieve that true empathy is education. And an open mind, to be honest. I feel like the closed-mindedness and like the lack of education is really what like causes people to take the bigotry and run.
Sure.
And I feel like if the people, like the certain few that I had come out to when I was that age, had just like known better and had just like understood more, I don't know, it just like, I feel like that we wouldn't have been in the like situations that we were in. So not to be political, but for all of these states to be like making these like legislations about the fact that kids can't know what they want when they're kids and that parents who support that are felons is ridiculous to me, because I was like 10 or 11 when I was like just starting to understand like who I was and what I was attracted to, but I wasn't necessarily in an environment, not my home environment necessarily, but just the town I was in, like that wasn't even an option to like express that or to like even go that route of exploring that, you know. But I was allowed to explore the other side of that, which was heterosexuality. I mean, everybody
for sure.
Right, like when you're in middle school, like you're going on dates and you're going on group dates, and like you're attracted to the opposite. You have crushes, you know. But if I had a crush on a boy when I was 12 years old, the world would have collapsed.
I mean, you would have gone straight to hell.
Exactly.
Straight
there.
Straight to hell.
One-way ticket.
I want to ask you, but this is so horrible because I know the answer. No, my question was going to be, do you think it's easier for children now to whether like come out, be trans, you know, come out as any of those on the spectrum of anything?
I think it depends on where you are.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the location of
right.
said coming out. I feel like had I lived here my whole life, I probably would not have experienced what I experienced growing up. And especially, well, I hate to say that now because we're in 2022 and it feels like we're not in 2022. It feels like we're in the 1950s, which is ridiculous. So I honestly, there were like a couple years ago where I was like, yeah, kids have it. Like, I'm super thankful that like this is the way things are going. Because even like my old high school, I still like go back and choreograph sometimes for, which is crazy because, you know, that whole full circle.
Right.
But
you're like, this is where I had a lot
but
of
there
trauma.
are so many but there are so many like kids there now that are like fully expressing themselves in their own way, and so it like really does make my heart happy. But as of like this year, I don't even want to I don't want to say that I know that that's how it is still, because of how crazy this year has been in just regards to like legislation. And
I'm hopeful that the Gen Z parents and the millennial parents are gonna be like, just hey dude, dope.
That's really, I mean, yeah, that is the hope. And I feel like I do know a lot of like my even like my age friends that are becoming parents and teachers. They're all like very, I don't want to say woke because I hate that word, but it's very like, they're very just about like their job, you know, and that's to like parent or teach, you know.
Going back to the comment that you made saying it depends where the person is coming out, like in the world, right? Whether, you know, California, Colorado,
in the world too, like there are so many countries where it's literally illegal.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah.
Going back, so you moved to LA at 18. So what has your journey been since? So you had come out, you now moved to LA, you're pursuing dancing. What was it like? One, like what was your journey in LA and your career, but then also the journey of being gay and finding yourself being queer?
Yeah. So the career journey, let's start there, because I feel like that kind of ties into everything. I feel like because of the career path that I was on, I was like allowed to like express myself a little bit more, because I was like performing in like gay clubs in WeHo. And the first time I stepped foot in Flaming Saddles, I literally was like, which like rest in peace, Flaming Saddles, but like love you, girl. But yeah, no, literally, because I mean, I think I did. Actually, I think it was at. How long have you lived here?
Since 2016.
Okay, that's when I moved here.
Okay,
too.
yeah.
Did you ever go to WeHo? Do you remember Bar 10?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, so it's not there anymore.
Yeah,
it's a different bar now, but that was where my first dance performance was in Los Angeles. As a resident. I had performed I had performed at a different show when I had visited here, but as a resident, that was where my first show was. So I just remember walking in and it was a performance that I had choreographed for. So I had I had done the costumes, but I was just wear black and just do that. But I walked in and everybody's literally in harnesses and and I was like,
you're like, what am I doing?
Where am I? I was like, what is happening? Because I knew what I was getting myself into, but also until you're in it.
What a shock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Coming from Colorado Springs to WeHo I was like, oh my goodness gracious. So, and then I started working for that show, creative directing for it and choreographing almost every month for it. And so I was down there all the time.
Yeah.
And so as the more I immersed myself in the dance culture and the LGBTQ culture and the WeHo culture, I started to be okay with expressing myself more and exploring that, because I had never been in the position where I was allowed to do that just for the safety of my well-being. Essentially.
Right.
Once I left Colorado Springs, I was already the big fish in a little pond. Right. I was already very established in what I thought was my identity. Because it was 2 years after coming out, and so I was very I know who I am. Right. And then I got here and I was like, I don't know one single thing about me at all. Don't know one thing. It's I couldn't tell you the first thing about me if you asked. So
don't even know my name.
No, I was like, what? When was I don't know. So that was when I was I really took that journey into exploring myself and having to teach myself it's okay, right. It's almost like aversion therapy. I hate to say that, but literally it was anytime I had that weird trauma block of I didn't even paint my nails for the first time until 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
And then I started playing in makeup, and I had to literally there were moments where I'd want to purchase a palette and I would not do it, and then I would go back to the website and then I'd be you know what, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Nobody's gonna, who cares?
Right.
And so then once I literally, I had to train my brain to literally be, it literally is a trauma response.
What were you feeling when you were trying to find yourself? I know you were just saying, of course, you had the trauma response of but you know, what other things were going through your mind?
And this comes back around to, I learned about myself that I am very perfectionistic, and that I'm very I'm not gonna put anything out into the world until I'm good at it, and until I have practiced it enough to where I'm proud of it. And so when I started doing makeup and when I started painting my nails, I didn't tell anybody about it. I just started doing it, and then when I did post about it, or I did do videos or whatever, it was good. Yeah. It was something that I was proud of. And so because that was my way around people saying anything about it, I was nobody's gonna say shit about this if it's iconic.
That's
so
fair.
I was if I'm gonna put a makeup look out, it needs to be sickening so that nobody can be wow, this is not for you, and also you're ugly. People are gonna be if somebody was going to say some shit about it, it was because they had their own feelings about it, not because it was bad.
Right.
Exactly. So that was my my workaround into the trauma, honestly. Yeah. But now I'm very much I don't really care. Clearly, because of my TikTok presence, I just I shake my ass in my room and I don't really care. Yeah. And clearly, a lot of other people don't care either. So.
Yeah. Let's go back to when you're on your journey, you're doing makeup, and that's when you're I found my thing.
Yeah.
I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
So you were doing choreography. You were here to be a professional dancer. And then when did you now do music, which is fab? Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
So how did it all happen? How did you get on social media? How has that helped you? How has it affected you?
Yeah. Started, realizing that the professional, and the reason I'm starting is because I'm trying to word this carefully, but honestly I don't really care.
Yeah.
The professional dance industry doesn't have a lot of space yet for queer people. For self-expression, which is something that I'm trying to work on while also not being super involved in the dance industry anymore, but I'm trying to change that a little bit. I mean, even auditions nowadays are separated between boys and girls. Which I'm like, it's 2022, y'all. Yeah. And like auditions for art, I'm not gonna name names, but auditions for artists that are very like pro-queer, pro-LGBT, that like I don't think are aware of the fact that their auditions are being. So all of that to say, I was struggling a lot with exploring who I was and also trying to find my space in the dance industry. So by the time the pandemic hit, I was in the process of developing my own dance company. And awesome. we had shows lined up, we had done concept videos. I mean, we were like in the process of really getting this thing off the ground, and then all of a sudden March 2020, girl. She really came in.
She came in hot.
She really came in and did us all dirty. But it ended up being something that I would be super grateful for, because that's when I found TikTok. That's when I found social media. We all had nothing to do. And so I was like, let me
twerk on camera.
Let me give it another chance. May 12th of 2020 was when I uploaded the Camp Rock one. And then immediately my entire life was like flipped.
It was one video.
It was within 24 hours I had 150,000 followers.
Shut your
on
mouth.
TikTok. I'm not kidding.
Shut your mouth.
It was it was
That's
insane.
Wild.
It was crazy. I didn't sleep all night because
I
was like, what
refresh.
is happening? I had a DM from Meghan Trainor the following morning. It was unreal. It was the craziest thing I've ever experienced. I've literally...
Unbelievable.
And then within like the next like week or so, it had already shot up to like 20 million views. I was like, what is happening? What is going on? And then...
Oh, I got
within
chills.
the year, it was October of 2020 that I had hit 1 million followers. So it was like 6 months. Yeah. And this was the first time where I was like, wow, I feel at full freedom to be whoever I want to be.
Yeah.
And
how did that change the trajectory? Like, what did that do for you that is changing what you're doing now?
Oh, it opened so many doors. Everything in my head started to be like, what do you really want to do? Like, what are the true goals? Because, like, here's a jumping off platform to be able to get there that you've never had before.
Yeah.
Like, me performing on stages and, like, releasing my own music was so far off in my brain, like, a couple years ago, that I just... and now here I am, like, performing gigs in, you know, the places that I was choreographing at when I first moved here. It's just, like, so wild to me. Like,
what do you see success as? So moving forward, what's the goal?
I love this question. I love when people ask me this.
Yes.
Because I feel like success is such a weird concept. It's such a weird ideology because it's subjective, right? Like,
yeah, it's different for everyone.
It's different for everyone. And so what I always say as, like, what I always define success as is, like, finding success in everything allows you to stay successful.
Like, if you're not celebrating or having smaller goals where you can be like, oh my god, I made it here and I'm excited, and I drank coffee today and I'm stoked.
Yes.
Then, like, when you get all the way to the end, you're like, well, I didn't enjoy anything before this moment, and I was just upset. I was just upset the whole time. So give me one of your big goals then.
One of my long-term goals is to eventually go on tour.
For your own music.
Yeah, for my own music, to be on some sort of tour. We, like, had a little bit of a conversation about this the other day, but, like, social media is very fleeting.
Yes.
And I have no intention of, like, being a TikTok star for, like, the rest of my life. Like, that, I'm very much trying to just use it as, like, a jump-off platform to be able to do something a little bit more longevity related. Because I love it. It's so fun. And I am so grateful for it, and I'm thankful for what it has done for my life, and I'm thankful for the people that it has brought me, and I'm thankful for, like, you know, the people that I have been connected to, and the people that have come to me through social media. So, like, I'm really thankful for all of that. But at the end of the day, like, it is a robot.
Yeah.
It is a non-real entity.
Yes.
And it is something that could easily just disappear.
Yep. Well, Chris, it was so much fun having you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are just the frickin' best. I just adore you, and
I adore you. This was so fun.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Cheers. And I'll
Thank
have
you for
back
having me. Oh my
Thank
God,
you for
I can't
coming.
wait. Of course.
Bye.
Bye.